Good morning. How's everybody doing? Here comes some music. I think if you're smart, you'll find a sunny spot, you know? Lots of sun up here on the platform. I understand in the summer why you want to hide back there in the trees. But on a day like today, a little sunshine would feel really good. So we are going to start in a child's pose. So you're going to get on your knees, sit back on your heels, and rest your head. And I want you to start to listen for the sound of your breath. And not just the sound of the breath, but the way the breath feels when it's moving through your body. Look and see how many parts of your body actually feel your breath. And then begin to open your consciousness, like really open your awareness to all of the parts that are not feeling your breath. See if you can start to expand the breath there. So we make it a little bit bigger. And then I want you to take your hands and walk them to the right. So you start to feel your left side body stretch. It should feel really good. It's that sensation of like that morning stretch. It's still kind of cool out. It's early. So we're going to just start to feel the side body, which is something we don't move normally in our regular activity. And I want you to push your hands into the ground. And as you push your hands, feel that make your hips move back. So you're actually pushing yourself back. And then just take one good deep breath into the left side of your body. And then as you exhale, make your way back to the center and over to the other side. Just again, looking for some new sensation, just a little stretch through the ribs, just giving yourself even more space to expand the breath. You can push your hands into the earth. And as your hands push down, your hips move back and you just create a little bit more space. And then you can go ahead and walk your hands right back to the center. Let's grip our hands onto the mat, pull the belly into the spine, and come on up into a tabletop pose. That's it. I want you to make sure your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and then engage your core. I want you to feel the belly button draw into the spine, and we're going to integrate a little bit in the shoulders, which means we're going to squeeze our hands toward each other so the chest activates. That's it. And then see if you can maintain that feeling in the chest and that feeling in the core. And then rock a little bit forward. So we're not going to change the spine at all. We're just going to rock into the wrists and let them stretch. Ooh, that should feel so good. And then just pull it back. And then do it again. Rock forward. No change in the spine. Just stretch into the wrist. And then pull it back. That's it. One more time should make it just right. And then pull it back, keep squeezing through the hands, engaging the belly toward the spine, and then tuck your toes and lift your knees. Right there, just let the knees float off the mat. We just stay in a hover right there. It's called floating tabletop, so don't be in a hurry to go to down dog. I promise you'll spend plenty of time there today. That's it. Hover for a moment. And then we'll all take one more deep breath. Try not to let the head hang. The head is heavy. We don't want it pulling on the neck. And then we're going to straighten the legs and move the hips up and back into that first downward facing dog. Keep feeling that push through the hands, a little squeeze. The hands move toward each other to keep the chest broad. And know that all of these actions, all of these little things that I ask of you are meant to be subtle. Not big gross movements that like you over muscle and that you can't sustain them. They're done in a way that makes them feel like they're balancing something else in your body. And then lift the belly up and in just a little more and see if you can press back into your legs. The legs might feel tight, those hamstrings might feel tight, so bend the right knee and give a little extra stretch to the left one. Just find your way in there, don't force. Keep pressing through your hands and then switch to the other side. And again, just with a level of sensitivity that allows you to feel. And the whole time that we're exploring the body, all of this, how many of you forgot your breath? Yeah, let's take an inhale and push back together. And then as you exhale, look at your hands and walk your feet to the top of the mat. That's it. You're going to lift halfway on the in-breath and then fold deeply on the out-breath. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen, draw the chest out, and then exhale, fold deeply. 1 last time. Inhale, really lengthen, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, fold. And then using the same flat back, come all the way to standing. Push down through your feet, start to reach your arms high. Maybe look up and touch your hands, and then bring it right to the heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Hook your thumbs together, take a little stretch to the right side. Again, just touching the side body. As you touch the side body, root the feet down, and then bring it back to the center. Good, try the other side. Just a little stretch to the left, and it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be this over effort that happens. It's just changing the shape and bringing some new awareness and creating more room for the breath. That's it. Come back to center and bring the hands right into the heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Just be sensitive with your body until the heat starts to build. Lift halfway, inhale. Let's go to plank pose. We're going to stay in plank for 2 breaths because I want you to keep breathing and I want you to have a chance to organize your body. The legs are super straight here so they don't feel heavy. Lift the knees, draw the tailbone toward the heels, draw the belly into the spine. Keep squeezing your hands toward each other. And then very slowly lower down. Go forward and down if you can. Bring the chest out in front. And then inhale for cobra. It's a little back bend. And until the spine feels super warm and until the hip flexors are open, I prefer cobra before up dog. Good. And then exhale, release. Let's go back to down dog. That's it. So I'm starting slow and deliberate. I know that we need to build some heat. The air around us is cool today. But I want that heat to come from the inside. I don't want it to come from flailing around. I want it to come from slow and strong, deliberate breath and slow, strong, deliberate movements. Let's take 1 more breath together. Push back a little. And then look forward and walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Fold deeply on the out-breath. And then inhale, rise all the way to standing. Lift the head and chest, reach up high like you mean it, and then bring it right into the heart. We'll do it 1 more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Fold in, belly stays in the whole time. Lift halfway. Inhale, lengthen. Go to plank and lower on the same exhalation this time. Lowers nice and slow. Inhale for cobra pose. Keep lengthening your legs and broadening your chest. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Now, I want you to lift the right leg up into the air behind you. Lift it high. And know that for everything we do, there's always something that we have to do to balance it. So our movements don't stand alone. That leg in the air is not all by itself. It's part of the whole pose of down dog. So as that leg goes up in the air, sink down into your left heel. Create equal actions with both legs and keep that even pushing through your hands. Now keep the shape of down dog, which means your hips are going to stay up, and then pull your knee right to your belly. Squeeze it tight, tight, tight. I want you to keep your heel as close to your bottom as possible. That's it. We're squeezing the knee toward the chest. Good. Take one more breath there. Feel that squeeze. And then go ahead and extend the leg all the way up and back. You're going to use that same muscle and step that right foot all the way to the right hand. Inhale, come on up for high crescent lunge. Beautiful. Check in with both of your footprints. Both feet matter here. I want you to feel like you're really standing in both feet. That's important in all of your standing poses. The back foot, all of your toes have weight in them, so you might need to lean your body back a little bit. Even if the front of that left hip feels tight, we're going to start to get that to loosen. That's it. You guys look focused. Take another deep breath. Reach a little higher. And then exhale, let's flow. Hands go down. Step back lightly. Keep pushing into your hands as you lower down slow. Inhale for cobra pose. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. That's really good. So same on the other side. The left foot is going to rise up into the air. Let's not separate it from the pose, but let it remain part of the whole. So the leg goes up and it continues to rise slowly. And as you continue to lift, you sink into the right heel. Feel the down and the up. Feel ways that you can expand your body with consciousness. You're still breathing. The hands are still squeezing toward each other. Try not to soften the elbows. There's no collapse here. Now squeeze your knee to your belly. Just squeeze it tight, tight, tight. Like your knee is trying to touch your chest. That is so good. That's it. Take one more breath here. Remember the feeling at the crease of the hip, and then extend the leg back up and slowly step forward, left foot to left hand. Rise all the way up for high crescent lunge. Take your time as you rise. Every time we come up, there's a part of you that's pushing down. So you push down to rise up. Make your stance longer. Like you want it really long. And you want the back foot to be up on your toes. You'll feel way more steady. Yep. Straighten the back leg. Reach the arms high to the sky. You've got it. Take a deep breath in. Let's all lean back just a touch. And then go ahead and flow. Place your hands back on the mat. Step back lightly, lower down slowly, moving and grooving with your breath. Inhaling through cobra. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Good. Just one more inhale here, just pushing back a little, finding some expansion. And then look at your hands and start to walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply on your exhale. And then bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit into those heels a little bit, but don't lift your toes. You want to keep your toes grounded. This is a great way for us to build some heat. Do you remember the way you felt in the tabletop, where you draw the ribs in a little bit? Yeah. The tailbone goes down, the ribs draw in. Feel the lower belly lift too. Feel the core start to engage. And then hold that feeling in the core as you come back up to standing. Good. Stretch a little higher, take a breath, and then bring your hands right into the heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. This time, take your right arm down by your side and stretch over to the right. I want you to feel one arm reaching down as the other one is reaching up. Pull in a little bit from the midline. You can feel the pelvic floor and the lower belly draw up and in for support. And now take the right arm and reach it out to your side so it's parallel with the earth. There's a little bit of extra effort here. It takes a sense of integration in the body, but at the same time, as you're pulling in, I want you reaching out and then breathing into the space that you're creating. That's it. And then right arm rises and left arm goes down. That's it. Take a little stretch to the left. Just go to the place where all of a sudden it feels so good. And then you can feel the left arm reaching down and the right one reaching up, and you create that expansion, that double action. And then the left arm is going to come out to create a little bit of strength here. So it's not just about the stretch. It's not just flexibility. We're working to create balance in the body. Let's take one more breath here, and then left arm comes up. And the hands come to your heart. All right, inhale, chair pose. Remember not to stick the booty out too much. Let's take one more inhale and then dive in. Fold deeply on the exhale. Good. Lift halfway. Inhale. Go to plank and lower. Both feet are going to step back. You're going to take it down slow. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog if you prefer. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, right foot is going to step up. This time turn the left foot in flat and rise for what we call warrior one. Warrior pose in the warrior one variation is facing forward. Sometimes we hear warrior and we automatically turn out to the side, but here we're facing forward. So to the best of your ability, look at your front foot. Make sure the foot is pointing forward. Now as you bend your knee, that your knee is going forward. And as you sink down and in there, keep that left foot rooted behind you. Good. Now same thing as the other lunge. You're going to lean back just a little so you feel equal weight in both feet. We want to create balance. We want to create strength, equanimity, dual actions. Let's take one more breath. Sink a little, lift a little, and then let's flow. Hands go down. Press into those handprints as you step back lightly and lower. Inhaling through cobra and exhale back to down dog. Let's do the other side. Left foot steps up. The right foot turns in flat. You're going to rise into warrior one. Turn your chest forward. The warrior is full of passion. The heart of the warrior is facing forward, and you can almost feel it yourself like if you were squeezing a ball between your hands, and as you squeeze in, the chest broadens. That's it. And all of that upward action, all of that upward energy is matched by sinking in a little bit lower. Find the place that doesn't feel full of effort. Find the place that feels balanced. Let's take one more inhale, and then let's flow. Hands go down. Step back lightly and lower. Inhale, cobra, nice and broad through the chest, and then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so in the Surya Namaskar, we do that a little bit quicker. So let's try it for one breath. Right foot steps up, left foot turns in. Give me one big inhale and come all the way up into the full expression of the pose. And then exhale your hands back down, step back lightly and lower. Good. Take a deep breath as you move through cobra and then push back to down dog and hold. Yep, just hold there for a second. And then we're going to do that on the other side. It's left foot steps, right foot flat. One inhale to create the magnificence of warrior. And then exhale right back down. Hands down, step back and lower. Don't rush. Use your breath. Inhaling in cobra and then exhaling back to down dog. And when the air is cold, it takes a little longer for your body to process, you know? So we got to really try today, especially to keep the breath moving through the nose. If you bring the breath through the nose, it'll be a little warmer by the time it hits your lungs. So think about that. We are pumping loads of oxygen and we are moving the breath through the nose in both directions. Let's push back, inhale, and then look forward. You can walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose. Utkatasana. All right, let's sit a little lower. Bring the hands right into the heart. That's it. Now I know this is a big ask, but I need to create some heat, so I'm going to tell you right now, if you can, will you please lift your heels? We're going to keep the pose nice and small. So the hands are at the chest. Push into your palms. See if you can sit a little lower. Go ahead. See if you can sit a little lower. You might even be able to sit onto your heels. And then from here we come back to chair pose. So start to push your heels down. Start to reach your arms up. Hold halfway. That's it. And then come all the way up. I only ask you to do it because I know you can. Hands come to the heart. Pause for a moment. We're going to put all of those pieces together. We're going to flow through what we call Surya Namaskar B. It's the salute to the sun, a veneration to the sun that we wish would come and shine so brightly on us right now, right? So we start with chair pose. Bend your knees, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on your inhale. Go to plank and lower on your same exhalation. Try to really use your breath here. Inhaling through cobra, nice long, slow, deep breathing. Push back as if you were going to do down dog, but come to warrior. Right foot steps, left foot flat. Rise up for one big inhale, the full expression. As you exhale, you know what to do. Hands down, step back, and lower. Keep your core engaged. Keep those handprints active. Cobra on the in-breath. Down dog on the exhale. Left foot steps, right foot flat. One beautiful breath to create the pose. You've got it. And then exhale as you come back out. There's a mindfulness in the transition so you don't feel like you're flinging and flailing through the sequence. Exhale your way back to down dog and hold for 5 breaths. Check in with the things you know. Hands squeezing to broaden the chest. Belly in to lift the hips. Heels pressing down and out. No matter what we do, we're doing it to take care of ourselves. Breath narrows to the focus of coming in and out of the nose. We're going to take one more inhale and push back. And then exhale, look forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale, fold deeply, exhale. Finishing strong, chair pose. You bend your knees, your arms sweep. And then again, bring your hands to heart center. This time you need to sit a little lower so you can take a twist. Left elbow outside the right knee. It's really good. Check in with your feet, see if you can keep the same amount of weight in each of them. And then sit back a little more so the hips drop, and then push into your palms so you lift the chest just a little higher. That's it, and then forward fold, let it go, no drama. I know, it's about to turn into drama, I could feel it. But this is a precious moment right now, as all of that tension that was starting to rise, you can start to feel it go. And your job is to let it go. The practice might help charge that energy, and then we get to let it go. Don't stuff it back down. Don't grab onto it and tell it a story. Let's bend our knees and do chair pose so we can twist on the other side. And we do it with the idea that we're cleansing, that we're charging and releasing. We're looking for mindful moments, ways to make the body more healthy, more spacious, more balanced. Hands come to the heart, twist to the other side. Right elbow, outside left knee. Check in. Are you too heavy in your toes or are you heavy in your heels? See if you can even it out. We're going to drop our bottoms just a little and then push into the palms so you can lift the chest. I know you can do it. Check in. Keep checking back with your feet. The foundation and the roots of what we do are really what we need to focus on. Take one more breath. See if you can open the chest a little broader. And then let it go. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Certainly rest whenever you need to. Let the head down. This time, for the first time today, we're going to soften the knees, tuck the tailbone and tuck the chin. And I want you to feel how your muscles organize your bones. And go ahead and come up one vertebra at a time. The chin is tucked, the tailbone is tucked. There's a roundness to this ragdoll roll up. And you can feel how the muscles sort of organize the bones and put us right back how we belong. Let's inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Go to plank and lower on the same exhalation, emptying out the whole way down. Inhaling through the back bend of your choice, And then exhaling as you go to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift your right leg up behind you. Feel the left one sink. And then draw your knee toward your belly as you step right foot to your hands. Rise for high crescent lunge. We're going to turn to the left. Put that left heel flat and come into warrior two. Keep the chest broad. And I know that you're a warrior here, but could you soften your face? Yeah. All of a sudden, everybody got this really fierce look like, I'm warrior two. Yeah, it's so good. It's like you're in it. I get it. I get it. Keep that passion in your heart, but soften your eyes. Could you imagine if we could do that in life? If we could keep our passions in our heart and we could soften our eyes. Go ahead, drop your left arm down, reach your right arm up, and remember that as you reach up, you want to bend into that front knee. Always look for the balance in your work. If one foot feels heavy, one leg feels overworked, it's because it is, and you can even it out. That's it. Now, just like we did earlier, can we reach a little bit higher with that right arm and then float the left arm out parallel to the earth? That means you got to hold from your core, lift the lower belly, and then just try to bend that right knee a little deeper. So we're moving in both directions. Hold your support from the lower belly and go back to warrior two. Nicely done. Straighten the front knee and say it. Let's go ahead and move into Trikonasana, the triangle pose. Try to keep both legs straight, both arms straight, and don't worry about how deep your right hand goes. Sorry, your left hand. The left hand can rest on the shin. What I really want you to feel... Oh, did I say it wrong? I did say it wrong. I said it right the first time and corrected myself to the wrong side. Yeah. So it is right hand that's down, it's left arm that's up. And we're just going to look for a way to create space here. So for stability, can we press down into our feet, maybe draw the tailbone down the slightest bit. What that will do is give you room to take head, neck, and shoulders back a little. Go, don't be afraid of the space behind you. Go back, I'm watching you. Yep, there it is. Now turn your left palm forward and reach the bicep over the ear. Feel the double action. You can press down from your left hip to your left heel. And then you can also reach from your left hip to your left hand. Expand your body in both directions. Good. Bring the arm back up. This time wrap it around behind your back. Just wrap it around behind you and feel your hand push into your back so your chest opens even more. There it is. Now, if you can and if it feels safe, take the right bicep to the ear and reach out in front of you. You've got this. It's strength and flexibility. Turn your heart up toward the sky a little bit more. Take one more breath. And then release your arm down. Take that left arm back up. Let's look at the floor. Bend that right knee and come back to warrior two. You guys are amazing. Take a breath right here. Now, right forearm is going to go onto the right thigh. And you could rest there, but I'm going to ask you instead to push down so you rise up. And then again, turn that left palm forward. See how it feels to expand that left side body. It might feel good because sometimes the groins get tight, so we start sticking our booty out. But it might feel good. It might feel integrating to draw the tailbone down just a little. And then again, feel that from the hip down, we push into the earth. From the hip up, we reach into the sky. That's it. And then left arm reaches high. Wrap your arm around behind your back. Press your hand into your body so the chest opens a little more. And then instead of reaching in front of you, we're going to reach right out in front of the chest. Take the weight off the elbow, reach in front of your own chest. Reaching out toward your left side. Yes, there it is. Oh, create a little deeper twist. Turn your heart up, tip your ears back, take a breath, and then elbow back on the leg. Left arm back up to the sky, and then return to warrior two. Put a smile on your face because that is over. Let's all breathe in, and then exhale, flow it out. Hands go down. step back lightly, lower down slowly, moving through your vinyasa. It's breath and movement in sync, and now there's no question that there's heat building because people are starting to remove their clothing. Yeah, I don't think we'll get to a point that's dangerous or offensive. All right. Lift your left leg up, and as it goes up high, sink into your right heel. Keep the integration. Keep the double actions. And the knee is going to draw toward the belly as you step forward. Come up into high crescent. It's only a transition. And then turn open to your right side for warrior two. Remember, the passion is in your heart, but there's a softness in your gaze. I think sometimes we wear too much of our tension on our faces, and I think it would be a really good thing to start to incorporate into our lives that we can work hard, we can be intense, but we can wear it with some grace. Go ahead, reverse your warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Feel both of those actions. One arm is reaching down the leg, the other one is reaching up to touch the sky. You can feel it happening in both directions. And as you reach up, don't be afraid to bend your front knee. The front knee is moving out so you can feel a little weight on the pinky toe. And then from there, pull in the belly and float your right arm out behind you. I know you can do it. It's not going to last long, so give it what you got. Draw some strength from the pelvic floor, from the lower belly. Keep reaching. And then return to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, you can say it. Yes. With both legs straight, take the left arm down and the right arm up. It's Trikonasana, triangle pose. And we take this basic traditional form of triangle, and then we're gonna play. We're gonna play with it. So we're going to turn it into Uttita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose, which means we're going to turn the palm forward and reach the bicep over the ear. Take this hand on the outside of your leg. Take it behind. Take it out here. Yes. Now let your chest, head, neck, and shoulders back. Head, neck, and shoulders back. So it's the body that's moving, not the arm. You feel that? Yeah. All right, everybody. Don't be afraid to open this pose and make some space. Ground down, reach higher, reach longer. And then the arm is going to come up. Please wrap it around behind your back. Push the hand into the back body so the chest opens. Squeeze your feet, draw the belly in, and see how it feels to float your left arm out. Lift the left arm, bicep to the ear. Keep grounding through your feet as you lengthen out of your waist. If you have it in you, turn your heart up toward the sky just a little, and then release. Left arm down, right arm up. That's it. You're going to take your gaze down first, and then bend that left knee and come up for warrior two. Oh, you guys are amazing. Left forearm, left thigh. It's called Parsva Konasana. And then again, it's bicep over the ear. We're making that side body long on the right. I want you to feel the right foot push down. We're going to anchor the foot, maybe draw the tailbone in the tiniest bit, and then draw the ribs in the tiniest bit. See if you can get long on the side waist. The fingers are pretty enthusiastic here. They're reaching. They're creating that space in the ribs, and then breathe into it. And then right arm is going to rise back up and wrap around behind you. It's a half bind. Push your hand into your body to get leverage to open the chest. Keep the tailbone down just a little bit. Once you feel that sense of wholeness, the weight can come off the left arm and you're going to reach out in front of your own chest. So you're twisting your heart up toward the sky. Yep, your feet are grounded, your pelvis is holding, and then you're really fully expressing from a nice broad chest. It should feel amazing. Don't hold your breath. Put your left elbow back down. Take your right arm back up and return to warrior two. Put a smile on your face and then flow it out. Feel your hands touch down on the earth. Squeeze them in to broaden the chest and lower. Breathe in big as you take your back bend, and then breathe out completely as you go back to down dog. How are you feeling? Yeah, that was actually pretty sweet. Ooh, right? I like it. All right, walk your hands back to your feet. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees 90 degrees. And then go ahead and reach your arms behind you. It's kind of like a downhill skier. If you look at your feet, I guarantee you're going down, right? You want to lift your gaze out so you're looking down the mountain. You want to see where you're going. We're going to lift the arms a little higher than the body and then lift the chest even higher. There. And I know you can, so go ahead and try. Bend your knees a little bit lower. Draw the tailbone down so there's not so much back bend here. Yeah, you feel a little more in the core. And then take it up on your toes. Notice what part of you started to come into the action of the pose. We're not clasping our hands here. Just reach back behind you and lift your chest higher. So your butt should feel lower than your chest. That's it. Now, I want you to imagine I gave you a ball to put between your knees, and I want you to squeeze in right there and pull up from the pelvic floor. You've got it. And then let your heels down, let your head down, let your arms down. Oh. Yeah, like a rag doll once again. Feel how your muscles organize your bones. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone and your chin. Tuck your chin down. Head is going to come up last. And then we come on up one vertebra at a time. All the muscles kind of hug in to support and organize and restructure. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale, and then walk it out into plank pose. See if you can feel all of those actions, like the hands squeezing, the belly drawing in, the tailbone drawing down. And then I want you to lift your right toes off the mat and squeeze your right knee to your right elbow. Squeeze it, touch it. Just go a little further, right there, touch. And then step right back into plank and lower. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, down dog. Let's all just take one big inhale, let out a little sound on the exhalation. And then come back into plank. Lift your left toes off the mat. Draw the left knee to the left elbow. See if you can squeeze it. See if you can make it touch. It helps a lot if you push back with your with your right leg as you pull in your left, right? So the right one is pushing back and the left one is pulling forward. You get double actions, you get way more success. Then step to plank and lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog. Come up high on your toes. Shift your shoulders over your wrists and then put your knees down softly for tabletop. Go ahead and lift your right leg and squeeze your right knee to your right tricep. Squeeze it tight, tight, tight. It might even have to come out a little wide. See if you can get your knee to the outside of your arm. Keep squeezing your hands together. Keep pulling in your core and really push the knee into the arm and the arm into the knee. Ooh, just feel that. There's a relationship there. It's happening. And then put it back down. Who would have thought that that could be so much work, right? Let's do the other side. See, the craziest thing that's happening is when we only do one thing, it feels like a lot of work. But when we merge the actions of two things together, it actually becomes a little bit more steady. All right, you can feel this. Your hands are still squeezing, your core is still engaged. You feel the relationship of your left knee pushing your arm pushing your knee. You feel it. Lift your pelvic floor. Good, put it back down. Tuck your toes, and then lift your knees as you walk your hands back and come into a little squat at the back of the mat. So good. Hands at the heart center. So we're doing this squat on the toes. The feet are probably maybe hip distance apart. So come up, lift your heels off the floor. That's why we've been lifting our heels a little bit today, to get your toes ready for this, right? So you can stand in them without them getting really pissed off at you, right? Now, push into your palms so your chest broadens. Start squeezing a little bit at the pelvic floor and see if you can lift your hips off of your heels a couple of inches, like just clear them. Hold right there. Hold right there. You're still pressing into your palms. You're still lifting from the pelvic floor. There's this feeling of strength in your core. You're holding yourself up and together. And then go ahead, release. Good. Come into chair pose. Heels down, arms up, hold halfway. Come all the way to standing. Take a little stretch back because it feels good. And then fold right into a forward fold. Nice. Lift halfway, inhale. Walk forward into plank pose. Let's all take a deep breath in, a big one together. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, push into those palms and go to downward facing dog. All right. How are you feeling? You guys okay? Are you ready to play? But that doesn't sound very convincing. Are you ready to play? All right. So we're going to come into that little squat, but come to the middle of your mat. So again, high up on your toes, right? Drop down maybe the knees or just like hop forward like a little bunny right up to the center of your mat. I don't want you to be at the top of the mat because I want you to have mat in front of you. Good. Now, let's put our feet together, but open our knees up. And then put your hands on the floor in front of you. We're going to build a relationship between the knees and the arms. So put the knees up above your elbows and squeeze. As your knees squeeze into your arms are going to push out a little. You feel that? Good. Then rock a little forward and feel weight in your hands as you do that. Feel weight in your hands. Now, you've got to look forward. Don't look at your feet. Just like in that downhill skier, don't look down. Look forward. Rock forward. Maybe the right foot can lift off the floor. Keep looking forward. Keep squeezing in. You know what it feels like to lift your bottom. And then put the right foot back down. Rock back. Rock forward again. Try the left side. Just one side at a time. The hands squeezing in toward each other so the chest is broad. Yeah, you're trying to pick one foot up off the floor and then put it back down. Let's all come into that squat and just look at each other for a second. Every single one of us in the park is rooting for each other here, right? There are people in this park right now that have knee injuries that are not even playing with the squat. They have to sit it out. So maybe we do it for them, right? So that they could actually experience the joy of somebody else's achievement while they're working on healing their own body, right? Some of us are just afraid. Maybe we were kids and we fell flat on our face somehow off an escalator. I don't know. And then doing this pose just like there's just some block there. They just can't do it, you know? So let us all work on it together so that all of our success is for the whole. So maybe for those that are afraid, we see that it's possible. We see that it's not so scary, right? All right, let's try it one time. All of us at the same time, trying to lift both feet off the floor. If you're not doing it, then you're watching. You're experiencing, you're learning, you're observing. That's it. We're looking forward. Hands press in, knees squeeze in, hold your bottoms up. Yes, everyone should be doing this with a smile. Take one last breath. And then bring your feet back down. Yes, even if a second of 2 feet off the floor counts. All right, everybody come into a seated position. That was amazing. And even with those of us that fell, our neighbors laughed with us, not at us. Yes, it was amazing. Let's cross our legs and sit quietly in that feeling of togetherness, connection. Oh my gosh, the world wouldn't be the same if our accomplishments were only our own, right? Let's close our eyes for a second and just sit with that. The feeling of doing things in support of someone else. Of generously sharing experiences. Let's hold our hearts up a little higher, broaden our shoulders, soften our eyes. Be in the yoga in this moment. Feel your breath. Start to notice all the parts of your body that feel your breathing. And then allow the yoga to broaden your consciousness to all of the parts of your body that don't feel your breath right now, and see if you can start to expand yourself. Make the breath a little bigger and touch those other places too. One of the greatest gifts that we get from this practice is a feeling of wholeness. We feel connected and integrated to all parts of ourselves. Our physical body is only one aspect of our being. We are so much more. When you feel ready, very softly open your eyes. Place your feet on the floor in front of you with your knees bent. The knees will be bent so your feet are flat, and then extend your arms in front of you. See if you can make your spine really tall here. Like so, there's an effort there a little bit to just lift and lengthen up, and then pull the shoulder blades back so the chest comes through the arms a little bit, and then lean back to whatever degree feels good. Keep the chest lifted. Keep those feet grounded. I want you to feel your heels dig into the floor a little bit, and then imagine that you're dragging your heels back. Yeah. Now, start to open your arms wide. Keep grounding through the feet. Keep feeling the strength of your core, but at the same time that everything is squeezing in, you are also reaching out. Take your chest a little higher. Maybe even tip your ears back the slightest bit so the jawline lifts. It's going to start to get shaky and ugly in about 2 more breaths. Yeah, I can feel it already. So at that moment when it starts to get a little bit shaky and you want to bail, I want you to remember to dig your heels in and lengthen your spine, and then turn your palms up and reach your biceps to your ears. We turn it up a notch. We are so much stronger than we think we are. Right at that moment when we think we have to give up, that's where I want you to realize how much more you have in you. That's it. Now, dig in those heels, pull in the core, start to open the arms back up. Lift your chest a little higher, and then slowly bring the arms in front of you. Nicely done. Bow your head humbly to your knees. Soften your belly, round your back. All right, here we go. Straighten your spine. Reach your arms forward. Now see if you can lift your feet off the floor. Let's touch the toes together, touch the knees together and the ankles together. And I like what you've got going on here, but some of us, when we lifted our feet, our back just started to collapse. So maybe don't lift the legs so high, and see if you can get your spine straight again. And if you can maintain that straight spine, start straightening your legs. Or maybe just bring the feet as high as the knees. You got to play with it. Don't give up the integrity. I like what I see. Hearts lifted. Now, right when it starts to get a little challenging, lift the corners of your lips. You're so good at following instructions. I knew if I gave you that one, it would work. Take one more breath. Don't lose that smile. And then put your feet down and bring your head towards your knees. Let's take one good deep breath in. Let out a little sound with the exhale. And then stay in this rounded shape Tuck your chin, keep your tailbone rounded, and go ahead and lay yourself all the way down. Thank you. Good, take it all the way down. Once you lay down, allow that softness to come in. You may even want to grab the clothing that you took off. We're not going to cool down completely yet, but soon enough. All right, right knee is going to pull into the belly. Give it a really good squeeze. And then start really extending out of your left leg. So you're going to push and you're going to pull. Flex both of your feet. Flex both of your feet. Yeah, that means toes up toward the knee. That's it. I like it. Now reach your arms down toward your feet. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. And then pop that left heel up off the mat. Just take one good deep breath in. Use the exhale to contract a little bit more. And then grab your shin and lay back down. That's it. Let's switch sides. So a little push, a little pull. Start flexing the feet. That's it. Then start reaching the arms down towards your feet. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Pop that right heel off the floor. Let's all take one big inhale. And then squeeze tighter on the exhale. And then let yourself back down. Grab your shin, hug it in. All right, right knee is going to come in to meet the left. Both knees in. Touch your toes together. Open your knees a little bit wide. And then reach your hands up to the sky. I want you to flex your wrists like you are in crow pose. Like push the heels of your hands up toward the sky. That's it. Now lift head, neck, shoulders. And bring your knees to your elbows and your elbows to your knees. Keep touching your toes together. Keep pushing through the wrist. You are in crow pose, baby. That's it. So for every person who is going to walk away from the practice today thinking, I'm the only one who didn't do it. Well, here you are. We are all in it together. You can actually learn the muscle actions in your body without being challenged by the balance, without having to hold it all up. Pull in a little from the pelvic floor. Feel the relationship of the knees and the arms, pushing and pulling. Feel the core work. Take one more breath. And release. Go ahead, grab your knees. And then let them roll over to one side. Let's go right. Both knees to the right side. Start to soften your breath so you're not working so hard. That's it. And then really gently take your twist over to the other side. Just wringing out any last bits of tension, trying to soften wherever you can. Checking in again with your breath. Noticing everywhere it touches, and then opening your awareness to all the places that it's not. Seeing if you can broaden your spectrum, right? And then bring it back to the center.
I got that fire burning.
Let's put our feet down slowly.
So
and then release each one of those legs all the way down.
it's so deep. Got that fire burning. It's so deep.
That fire's still burning
So deep.
deep inside you.
So deep.
Your body heat is still right there in your core. Let the breath become gentle. Continuously bringing it through the nose, but letting go of all of the actions.
I got that fire burning.
Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I went to check the time and I touched the stop button.
I got that fire burning. So deep. So deep. It's so deep. Got that fire burning. So deep. So deep. It's so deep.
Let yourself begin to awaken really slowly and really gently. So you're not in any hurry to get anywhere. So you actually want to savor this moment. Maybe even just open your eyes for a second. Look up at that beautiful blue sky. Start to feel the coolness of the air. And really notice how you feel inside. Notice your state of mind. Notice the heart quality. It's important to know ourselves this way. How nice it would be for us to be this way more often. So let's not toss it away. Let's savor it. Let's take it with us as we come back to seated, as we begin to move and awaken. Let's continue to be this. And if we had to name this, I would say that this is yoga. This way that you feel right now, it's hard to describe, right? It's a feeling of union. It's a feeling of connection. Some of us deeply connect with ourselves. Some of us deeply connect with nature. Some of us deeply connect with this feeling of community. That's how the yoga works. It's like magic. Each of us gets what we need. Let's bring our hands together at the heart and sit up a little taller. You know, if you push into your hands, you're going to broaden your chest. And then with a little enthusiasm, we're going to really sound our own voices. We're going to raise our own vibration and make the sacred sound of Om. Don't blow it all out on the O sound. Save some for the M. It's the most precious and it vibrates the most. When you're ready, take a deep breath. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. May each of us know this peace. May we be an example of this peace. May we take it with us. Let us remember that the peace that we found right now in this moment existed in us the whole time. All we did was peel away some of the layers that kept us from feeling it. This is who we are. This is part of our being. Let's remember. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so, so much. Stay happy. Keep smiling. It's a beautiful day. Do we have info here? Oh, yeah. There's something I want to announce. It's really, really a special thing. Someone stopped by the park right before we began. There's a special fundraiser happening today in the community at Raw Juice, who's one of my community partners. There's an organization that has a house in Del Rey for women veterans. Oh, in Lake Worth. For women veterans. And so if you go to Raw Juice today after class, the Raw Juice is right down here on Federal Highway, 20% of all of the purchases will go to the funding for this house for our female veterans. So the mission is to empower homeless and at-risk female military veterans to integrate them successfully back into life after their service. So if that touches you in any way in this moment, stop at Raw Juice, buy yourself a juice. Maybe even go in and make a donation. I think it's important that we don't forget to take care, Their mission going there was to take care of us. We can't forget them when they come home. So support Raw Juice, support this organization. And you need to bring these. So if you're going to go to Raw, you got to come and see me. Then I get to give you a hug. We've got passes for the studio. Oh, there's a really fun workshop going on today, too, at 12 o'clock. If anyone's interested in making the yoga a little bit more creative, and it's called Yoga Dance Flow Workshop today. So Laura Bookbinder, for those of you who know her, she's subbed for me many times here, and she's one of our teachers at the studio. She's teaching a choreographed yoga flow dance. It's going to be super fun. It's today at 12, so if you're interested in playing, again, go and check that out. And if you want to take the flyer for, so if you're going to Raw, there you go. Thank you.